Welcome back, everybody, to Pooley Mag TV, the raw, unedited, unscripted NUFC fan channel where everybody's got an opinion and nobody's opinion is wrong. So today's episode is the Mackhams are back in town. Well, I know I'm a couple of days late from this, but well done, Sunderland. Well done on them getting back to the Premier League. I've got a lot of friends who are Sunderland fans. I've got family who are Sunderland fans. I don't hate Sunderland. Obviously, it's a little bit of banter. It's a little bit of friendly banter, isn't it? I know some people take it too far. Some people hate Newcastle if they're a Sunderland fan, and some people hate Sunderland if they're a Newcastle fan. And there's always a little bit of, back and forth between the two sets of fans. But for me, I'm glad to see them back in the Premier League. I really am. I'm over the moon that they've got back up there because I think it's just great for the North East to have more representation in the Premier League than the Manchester clubs and London, because it's been dominated, hasn't it, by London recently. So it's good to see another big North East club back in the Premier League. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that? If you're a Newcastle fan watching this, are you happy that Sunderland are back in? Or don't you care at all? What's your thoughts? Hit like and subscribe and comment down below if you've got an answer to that question and if you like any of the other Pooley Mag TV content. But getting back into it, like I say, some of my family, quite a few of my uncles are Sunderland fans, and they've got season tickets and they watch for Sunderland all over. My cousin's a Sunderland fan, so I've got no hatred towards Sunderland. Obviously, I like to see Newcastle do a little bit better than Sunderland, and it's been good to give them that little bit of stick. Like they give us that stick when they won 6 in a row. But like I said, there's no true hatred in my coursing through my veins towards Sunderland. And I think it'll be interesting to see how they do this summer. Because let's face it, they've had their moment in the sun winning the playoffs, but it's going to be a really, really hard season for them, isn't it? It is. I'm wondering if they can beat their worst total ever of when Mick McCarthy was the manager, because I can't see them going back to the Halcyon days of Peter Reid, Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn. I really can't. But I hope they stay up, because I think it could be 6 easy points. I know they say there's no easy games in the Premier League, and that's just a little bit of banter, really. I don't think it'll be 6 easy points. Do I think we'll get 6 points off Sunderland next season? Yes, I do. Do I think it'll be easy? No, I don't. I think they'll be up for it. I think they need to go out and buy some Premier League ready players, not players from France or wherever, or Belgium, because sometimes these can be a little bit hit and miss. They need some quality players, just like we do, obviously of a higher level, which is what we need. We don't need, Premier League ready players who can just keep us up. We need Premier League ready players who can take us to the top. But anyway, back to the derby. What's your favourite derby moments? I know I remember us beating them on Halloween when we battered them 5-0. That was great. I remember Alan Shearer's last goal against them. That was fantastic and all. So I'll be doing a top 5 derby day moments against Sunderland. But I just want you to know your thoughts on Sunderland being promoted. Does it bother you? Are you arsed? Have you had a little bit of banter with your Mackham workmates or whatever? You might have Mackham family, Mackham friends. There's nothing wrong with that. Sunderland are a big club and they're from the North East. And like I say, it's good to see them back. On my opinion anyway, it's good to see them back in the Premier League. Do I think they'll stay in the Premier League? Maybe it's not. I hope they do, though. I really hope they do. Because I think it's good for the Premier League to have that North East derby. The proper North East derby. Not the Sunderland Middlesbrough derby or the Newcastle Middlesbrough derby, but the proper time with your derby. I think it's really, really important for the Premier League to have a derby like that, because it gets great coverage on Sky Sports. It does, and it's just a fantastic scene, isn't it? You've got all the red and white, you've got all the black and white, and depending on what stadium it is, it's always bouncing in either stadium. 2 sets of raucous fans going at it, giving each other a little bit of jip. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. And like I say, for me, I'm glad to see them back. They need to spend a lot of money. They need to buy some really good, solid Premier League players. And they need to change the way they play, because, let's face it, this Sunderland team coming up now if they don't add some quality, they're going straight back down, aren't they? But let them have their moment in the sun. I think it's great to see both teams winning at Wembley this season. Like I say, I like to banter me colleagues and I like to banter me family when I see them about Sunderland and Sunderland's plight the recent seasons. But overall, I think I'm happy to see them back. I'm more happy for us to have a proper derby instead of having to travel to London all the time. We've got 2 games now next season to really look forward to. When that fixture list comes out, the first match won't be Arsenal away or Manchester United at home. It'll now be, when do we verse the Mackhams? When do we verse the Mackhams? And it's just something to look forward to. And there's nothing wrong with having something to look forward to in football, especially this day and age. The world's tough enough. Life can be hard. Life can be tough enough. Let's have something to look forward to, eh? And we've got at least 2 games. Obviously, we might verse them in the cup at some point, like we did the other year. But we've got at least 2 games now against our bitter rivals to look forward to. And what's wrong with that? You know, what's wrong with that? I can just imagine now the scenes having the first derby at St James's Park in nearly 10 years. Or it could be 10 years if it's not played till next year, depending on who gets the home leg first. You know, and I just honestly believe that it's just great for North East football. You know, I'm a North East guy. I'm born and bred Hartlepool. You know, I'm a thorough North East person. I'm a proud North East man. You know, and I'd love to see my hometown club come up the divisions. They'll never get to the Premier League, but just get out the National League. Darlow, things like that, Gateshead. You know, I want the North East to do well. We've got our own little bubble in the North East. The Southerners and people like that don't understand what it means to be a North East guy and to be a proud North East person and all. And yes, you can have your banter, you can have your little bit of grief and your little bit of whatever with your rival supporters. But at the end of the day, we all sound the same. Yes, we might have a little bit of different twang, but we all sound the same. We all talk the same. We're all from the same area. And we all proud. I've never met somebody born and bred in the North East who's not proud to be from the North East. So it's great to have some more representation on the telly. It's great to have more people who sound like us on the telly. You know, it's just great to have the North East represented. And if that means Sunderland getting into the Premier League and us battering them every season that they're in the Premier League, that's fine by me. It really is. And I would love for us to go out there and teach them a lesson, just so I can banter my friends. But well done, Sunderland, anyway. You know, and if there's any Mackhams watching this, I've got no animosity towards any Sunderland fan at all. If you're a tit, you're a tit, and it's not because you're a Sunderland fan. So anyway, that's me. Are you happy that Sunderland are back? Are you bothered? Are you looking forward to Derby Day? Hit like, hit share, subscribe, and comment down below. And like I always say, keep it black and white and keep it Pooley Mag TV. Over and out.